Alrighty, so Tatyana for Where is the Buzz TV, and I'm here with the stars of Sex Appeal, which is coming out January 14th on Hulu. Mika, Jake, how are you guys doing today?
We're great.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Excellent. Thank you.
So I got to watch the film last night, and honestly, it's so fun. It's hilarious. Talk to me a little bit about how you guys kind of fell into this project, because Mika, you're from, Project MC Square, Cruel Summer, Jake, Ant Farm. So tell me how you guys kind of stumbled upon this project.
I mean, it was like mid-pandemic audition time, you know what I mean? It was kind of like a normal audition process, I guess, apart from the fact that it was all virtual and like all of our chem reads were on Zoom and it was a little tough in like that respect. But other than that, I mean, at least for me, when I first read the script, I was like, it was just like perfect. I don't know, I related to it so much that I was like, yeah, this seems like it'd be a really fun project to be a part of.
Yeah, I think Tate is the writer of the script. She did a great job tackling a lot of the teen angst through a comedic lens. I think she tackled Mika's character very well. Avery is like very uptight, but very driven and smart. And I think it's a great script for young women right now. And I was drawn to it just because I enjoy being a comedic relief. And I think Larson's a very heartfelt person. So he gets to come in there and try to break down our walls. And I thought the character dynamic was great. But yeah, Tate did a great job.
Yeah, I feel like your character, Larson, wears his heart on his sleeve. So how, I know you said a little bit, Mika, that you feel like you relate to your character a little bit. Talk to me a little bit more about that, because I did hear that you completed geometry and algebra in the same year.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, I forgot I did that. That's so funny.
So Avery's not too far off. So talk to me a little bit about do you guys feel like you relate to your characters?
Yeah, totally relate to my character. I was like, I don't know, all I've been thinking is like, I wish that I had this movie when I was in high school because I was so like driven, so type A, and like, I'm grateful, like academic achievements are important and whatever, but like, I definitely relate to Avery in that like, I missed out on some high school experiences because I was so like, my focus was so narrowed on my education.
Yeah.
I mean, based on working with Mika for 2 months, I think she has some similarities and differences. I don't completely blinded by academics, but I definitely think that, or like, your work, what you're focused on. But there are days where it would be hard to get some words out of Mika when she's on set, focused on what she's doing.
Yeah, zoned in.
I think Larson's a lot more laid back than I am, but we definitely have a similar go with the flow, just feel it out, see how things are going to go. But we also differ there too. He's a lot more comfortable in certain situations that I'm not, and I think that I handle my relationships a little bit better than Larson does now, but he's young.
Right. Yeah, we'll cut him some slack. Let me just pause for just a second because I think the So another thing that I loved about this movie is the fact that it does allow teens to kind of talk about the taboo, which is sex, but it does it in such a non-raunchy way. I feel, I really like some of the dream sequences and things like that. So talk to me about how this film you think is different from others when it does talk about sex and hooking up and exploring those avenues as a teenager in high school, because the film does take place in high school.
Oh, I think we have a nice balance between the two, because I think there's some scenes in the school with all of the kids when they're talking about sex and what it leads to, what it is, how it works. And you get the raunchiness there. That's sort of the comedic element. And then you get
Right.
our side of the story where we start to, without, showing really that much, which is a refreshing take on
Yeah.
coming of age sex comedy.
Right. Yeah.
We still get to tackle the serious side of it and what it does and how it changes our relationship. So I think, yeah, I've been shouting Tate out like crazy, but she did a good job. And so did Talia as well. I mean, she showed both sides, the serious and the comedy of it. Also, like sex when you're this age or like in high school is so awkward, and because you're learning everything. So we get to see that too, and it's funny, but it's also really, really sweet.
Yeah. And I'd even say like outside of the actual plot of the film, I think like even on set, they did such a great job of like facilitating a comfortable environment, you know, for me and for Jake and for everyone that was involved that had to like be in a compromised position. Which I think that
felt compromised.
Yeah, like felt compromised. But I honestly think like how comfortable we all were with being on set, like shows in the film. And it shows in kind of like the goofiness and the silliness, and like we're able to not take it too seriously.
Absolutely. Yeah. I watched the bloopers at the end and I was like, they were just having a good time, like with each other, just saying whatever, enjoying themselves. So talk to me about working with Paris Jackson. You know, that's one of the things that people have been talking about in this movie. And she was just so cool, so awesome in the film. What was that like?
I've been saying that's just her. Like I was like, when we got on set and I knew about her character and whatever, and then I met her and I was like, oh yeah, for sure. She's just so cool like that. And she's like so warm and welcoming, but like she also is like a very hard worker, and like she took it very seriously, and like I don't know, she's just very respectable in you know how she will have fun on set, and she like again facilitates a very fun, like cool, chill environment, but like when it's time to work, like she worked and it was great. I love Paris.
Yeah That's awesome.
Didn't get to work with her.
Oh, you didn't get to work with? That's right. That's right. She was only in season with you. That's so true. Did you guys get to meet at all, or no?
Yeah, I saw her in passing in the makeup room a couple of times. She's very, and she was I think she was reading over a lens when I was talking to her. So I definitely bothered her a little bit. But yeah, she was very sweet to me. And from what I heard from Mika,
Jake bothered everyone on set.
I did bother. Something I did.
I doubt that. You seem too nice, too friendly. So I definitely want to talk about, not to spoil anything, but I do want to talk about the ending. And you know, we won't spoil anything, so we'll release this after. But how do you think fans and audiences are going to react to the ending of this coming of age drama, comedy, romance-esque type film?
You want to go? I think you have an opinion on it too, but I definitely think yours is. Go ahead.
Okay. I think like the rest of us, when I originally read the script and I was like, oh boo.
Boo.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that sucks. But I think in order to convey the message that the film is trying to convey, and in order to like make the story as touching as possible and as real as possible, it has to end the way that it does. And like, I hope that people are disappointed. I hope that people are sad, because that's like the best movies I'm disappointed at. You know what I mean? The most impactful movies don't leave me feeling good and happy.
Don't say disappointed.
Not disappointed, but like
torn. You know, sort
sad,
of conflicted.
Like
bittersweet. Yeah.
Because it really is. It really, like, I think when everyone read the script too, they go, "Oh, well, this didn't go exactly how I expected it to."
Right.
And that was there were a couple times on set where they were like, "We're gonna have to change the ending."
Yeah.
And I think Mika and I were both like, no, don't do that. Because in reality, most of your relationships in high school or coming out of high school are not going to end the way that you thought they would. And I think it's realistic, but it's also a very, I mean, not that we're like shoving a lesson in your face, but it's definitely like, hey, look, you got to handle people with care, especially when they're young and their feelings are so powerful and expressive. So when Avery, they're not like, and I think they end up being friends, but like, no, they're not going to be an item, and they're not going to have the same relationship they did in their childhood. Now it's complicated.
Yeah, and I feel like that's also only respectful to Larson, people that identify with Larson.
Absolutely. I think Larson is just protecting himself, and I think as long as you see that, you can see some comfort in the ending, not disappointment.
Yeah, no.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I was definitely torn, like, I wish, you know, I feel like Avery was fighting really hard at the end, but I definitely understand where Larson is coming from as well. So Sex Appeal 2 sequel, do you think there's a future for these two characters?
Hey, Mika's been dying to go back to Syracuse.
I have been dying to go back to Syracuse.
That's where we shot the film.
It's a great time.
Awesome. Was it, when did you guys shoot?
February.
So it was cold. Okay.
Yeah. so cold. And I had never defrosted like a car windshield or like scraped ice.
Yeah, it was.
He had to do it for me.
We got a snowstorm or like a blizzard or something. Like we were on the tail end of it. So like the first 3 days we were there, it was like 10 inches of snow.
It was brutal.
Wow.
Anyway, but sex appeal too. I don't know. There's potential for like, you know, a college story. There's, you know, because we're both out of high school, you know, at the end, and there's potential for that. I know that like
I'm no writer. I mean, I could see an AB story happening though. You know,
what?
An AB, like two split stories, they come together at the end.
Oh yeah,
I would definitely do it. I would love to work with the production company and the director and that everyone Tate. Right.
Great experience. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to put that out in the universe for you guys because I think it should happen, especially if, you know, if people create ships for Avery and Larson and they want to see these two at the end, then there's got to be another one. So we'll see. But thank you guys so much for your time. I'm super excited for audiences and fans to see it. And I know they're going to love it. They're going to get all those feels. They're going to get emotional. They're definitely going to go back. So congratulations, you guys. And I hope to talk to you soon.
Thank you so much.
Where is the buzz you said was mine?